Good morning. Welcome to this 20-minute class, particularly focusing on our upper back and shoulders today. So come down onto the mat. We'll come start in a kneeling position, if that's okay, otherwise bringing your legs out in front. Close your eyes and bring your hands to heart. Let's arrive on the mat. Take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose. Let go of all of the chitter-chatter in the mind, coming into stillness. Take a deep breath in and a big breath out. Open the eyes and we're going to start to move with a restorative puppy stretch. Inhale, reach up overhead, and then exhale, bring your hands back to heart. So opening up through the shoulders, starting to warm them up. So we'll do 5 in total. If it's okay with the neck, looking up as you reach up, and then bring your head down as you come down again. Inhale reaches up, exhale brings the hands back down in front of you. And then now let's come up onto our knees and it's going to come straight into puppy dog stretch. So hips are over the knees, engage the core just to protect the lower back, and let the stretch be under the arms. Forehead to floor. Nice long slow breaths here. Feet are relaxed. Now lift up, come back up, and we're going to come down into Cobra. So with a twist, inhale, reach up, and then exhale, turn and look over your shoulder, and then come back down. So inhale, a little Cobra, exhale, turn and look over the shoulder, inhale back to center, and then exhale back to the floor. We're going to do 5 to each side. In your own time, your own rate of breath, not coming up too high, and we feel the movement in the lower back. So let's use it to strengthen those back muscles, but also a bit of a digestive twist, wakening up the front of the body. And then tuck the toes, push up, and come back into child's pose. So knees together, hips over the heels, keeping the hands forward, forehead to floor. Now feeling the stretch out in the lower back, but also under the arms. Nice big deep breaths here. So this is like a restorative Sun Salutation. So we'll come back and we'll start again. So hands to heart. Inhale, reach up and over, big circle. Exhale, hands to heart. And then come forward, come into the puppy dog stretch again. Walk the hands forward, forehead to floor. Now come down to the Cobra. Hands are under shoulders. Inhale as you look up and exhale as you turn. And now let's come back into child's pose. Forehead to floor, hips back, releasing the lower back, stretching under the arms. And one more. Come back to kneeling. Inhale up, exhale, release. Walk your hands forward, stretch it out. Feel how you're starting to expand through the body. Come into Cobra with the twist. Not too much effort on the hands, it's more about activating the lower back. And this time as we come into child's pose, let's come into full child's pose, bringing the hands down beside the feet, palms facing up, forehead to floor, relaxing the shoulders and stretching out through the upper back as well as the lower back. Take a moment and then come back up, and we're going to come into gate pose. So coming hips over knees, bring the right leg out to the side, flex the foot and then reach the arm up, left arm up and then over. Feel a stretch all the way from the left wrist to the left knee. Look under the armpit, pushing the hips forward. And then let's come to the other side, so swap it over, left leg out to the side, flex the foot, push the hips slightly forward, lift the right arm up, And then left arm onto the left leg, bend and look under the right armpit. Now the stretch is all the way from the right knee to the right wrist. Deep breaths here. And come on down. Give it a bit of a shake out. And let's do the same thing again. So right leg out to the side. Reach the left arm up. Just bend it over first, side stretch. And now stretch it tall, so as if you're stretching your left hand all the way up to the heavens, looking up to the hand. Again, keep pushing that hip forward and then swap over to the other side. Left leg out to the side. Reach up and bend over to get the side stretch first. Now reach tall, lengthening through the body. Feel it a little bit in the inner thigh. Make sure the back foot is relaxed and come on out. Walk the hands forward and we're going to come into down dog, so stretching it out. Hands nice and wide, and then just one heel after the other, walking that dog out, feeling the stretch down the back of the legs now. Really feel it coming through the calf muscles, the ankles. And then drop the head to look to the knees. Lift the hips higher. Let the shoulders drop towards the knees as well. Deepening that V shape. Heels towards the floor. Length through the back of the legs. And step forward. We're going to come into a low lunge. Drop the left knee to the floor now. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, looking up to the hands, either palms together or hands at shoulder width, making sure that right knee is over the right ankle. Tuck the toe on the back leg and step back to down dog. And now step the left foot forward, come into that low lunge on the left side. Make sure the back foot is flat. Deep breaths, eye gaze to the thumbs, if that's okay with the neck. Keep the core engaged to hold you steady. And come on back down. Let's come back to down dog. Tuck the toes, step back. Drop the heels to the floor. Lift the right leg up, left leg up behind, and we're going to step through. Feel the strengthening work now that you're working in the shoulders, and come back to that low lunge. Use these low lunges as a recovery from the shoulder work we're doing in the down dog. And come back. Let's try the other side. Right leg up behind. Point the toes. Let the left heel drop towards the floor. Three-legged dog. Building strength in the shoulders. Step the right foot forward. Come back to that low lunge. As I say, recovery, balance, steady eye gaze, deep breaths. And hands back to floor, tuck the toes, step back to down dog. Bend the knees and come back into child's pose for a little recovery. Let the shoulders drop towards the floor, opening up in the upper back. Hands under the shoulders, just come back up. Come back into down dog. Challenge pose. Wild thing. Just a little bit different. Maybe you want to just do three-legged dog, but if you want to, try this one. Ready? Right leg up. Turn, bend the knee. Look under the right shoulder. Stack the hips, opening up through the hips. Pushing the heel to the floor. Come to the other side, left leg up, bend the knee, flex the foot. Look under the shoulder, under the left shoulder now. Stacking the hips, pushing the heel to the floor. Well done. Take Take a moment. Walk your hands to your legs, bending the knees, and let's come into a forward fold for recovery. Knees are bent, hands to elbows, stretching out through the lower back and the upper back. Use the weight of the upper body to stretch everything out. Passive stretch, no effort required. And then come halfway. Let's come to that half lift. So hands to shins or hands to floor, flat back, eye gaze directly down, leaning slightly forward into the toes. Feel a stretch now all the way through the body. And hands to hips to lift you back up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment, take a deep breath in and a big breath out to reset. And give it a shake out. Let's come to the front of the mat. And we're going to do triangle pose. So when you're ready, hands to hips, step the left foot back, big step back. Toes pointing to the side of the mat. Turn, face back to the front of the mat, right hand down onto the right leg, and then lift the left shoulder up. So keep pushing the right hip back so that you're getting a crossways stretch through the hips. Look up to the hand if it's possible, stacking shoulder over shoulder, one long line, not leaning forward and not leaning back. And let's come out. Bend the right knee to step forward. Breath in and breath out. Always use those extra breaths to bring yourself back to the present moment. And then when you're ready, let's come to the other side. Step the right leg back, toes towards the side of the mat. Turn to the front of the mat, left hand down, and this time right arm up. So we're stacking shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip, both legs straight and strong. Deep breaths here. Use your core to hold you. And look down. Take a moment. Bend the left knee to step out. Breath in and breath out. Now I'm going to come into eagle pose. Just a variation to start with, a little bit of a challenge, but this one. So bend at the ankle, bend at the knee on the left, and bring the right foot over the top of the left. Bring the elbows together, hands together and elbows together. So bring the right toe onto the floor to start with. Elbows up at shoulder height and hands away from the face. Feel this deep stretching now going through the shoulders, through the arms, and then come on back out. Let's try the other side. So when you're ready, hands to hips, bend at the ankle, bend at the knee, left leg over the top of the right, hands up, hands together, elbows as close as you can together. So use this as a stretch, focus as eye gaze between their forearms. And let's come out. So you may want to do that again, or if you want to take it a little bit further, we'll come into full eagle pose this time. So bending it on the left, right over top of left, and then left arm over the top of the right arm. Steady the eye gaze. Engage the core. As you breathe out, you can sink the hips a little bit lower. As you breathe in, bring the elbows a little higher. And come on out. Okay, one more to do. Last one. This time right leg bent at the ankle, bent at the knee, left leg over the top. Hands out, and then sweep the hands over. This time right arm over the top of the left, crossing at the elbows. Steady the eye gaze. Engage the core. Just 3 breaths here and then come on out. Well done. Okay, all the standing work done. Let's come on down to the mat. Come into that L shape, but this time a seated L shape. So we normally do it half lift, standing up. This one we're doing it seated. So hands down beside the hips, shoulders over hips, legs straight in front. Lift up through the crown of the head. Feel a lengthening through the spine. And then shake it out. Let's go for a stretch for the shoulders. So bend the left knee, reach with the left hand to the right foot, and then lift the right foot off the floor, straight leg. So it's not about how straight the leg is, it's about how much of a stretch you can get in the shoulder. So we're using the lengthening of the leg to straighten out the shoulder, stretching through the shoulder muscles. And then swap to the other side. So right knee bends up, reach with the right hand to the left foot, grab it, hand on the floor for support, lift the left leg, use that as you straighten it to stretch out the shoulders. Deep stretching in the shoulder. Nice slow breaths. And then come out, give it a shake out. Take a moment. And we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So legs wide, feet don't have to be flexed or pointed, just neutral. Hands onto the legs, not so far down, and then bending at the elbows. So it's not about getting your head to the floor, it's about lengthening through the lower back, but also inner thigh stretch. We prepared for this with gate pose earlier. So now we'll just do a second version of it where we bring the hands out in front, elbows coming towards the floor. Take long, slow breaths here. Eye gaze to your thumbs. And then come on back up. Bring the legs together, give them a bit of a shake out. Let's come into a spinal twist, half spinal twist. So right leg over the top of the left, reaching round with the left hand and right hand behind, twisting, wringing it all out. As you inhale, lift the chin higher. As you exhale, twist deeper. Now come to the other side. Left leg over right, turning. Deepen the twist on the exhale, lengthening and becoming taller on the inhale. And come back to neutral. And let's come into a opening for the chest. So you might need a block or a book or something like that, but we're going to come down. Place the block under the upper back and maybe even a cushion under the head. So find a place where you can get the stretch through the front of the upper body. So through the throat, elbows onto the mat, hands onto the rib cage. Bring the knees together and the feet wide to start with. So there's an expansion going on in the lower back as well. But what we're looking for is the shoulders to drop towards the mat, feeling the stretch through the front of the chest. Close the eyes and let the breath be all the way to the belly. Now just come the other way into butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. You can leave the hands on the ribs or you can bring the hands down beside you with the palms facing up. Feel a nice opening through the front of the body, the relaxing into the shoulders after the effort we've put in today. Take a moment to calm the mind and appreciate. Then roll over onto the right side just to get the block and the cushion out of the way so that we can come down onto that flat surface. Make sure you've got the curve back in your spine, lower back. Come into Shavasana, the corpse pose, where we can relax and reset. So feet hip width or more apart, relaxing in the hips, relaxing in the knees, rolling the shoulders out, palms facing up. And then bring the feet together and stretch overhead, big stretch Bend the left knee to roll over onto the right side. Take a moment here just to let the blood pressure reset itself. And then coming on up to a seated position, comfortable seated position. So there's really only one thing left to do now, and that's just to make sure that we haven't put any tension into the neck. So as you're sitting tall, let's drop our right ear over to our right shoulder, and then come back up, and then over to the left. 2 more to each side. Feel a stretch down the side of the neck. Not too far, just enough to feel it. And now let's look over the shoulder, so first to the right and then to the left, 3 times to each side. So right, left, right, left, right, left. And the last one, pull the chin back, push the chin forward. Pull chin back, push forward. Deep releasing into the neck and throat area now. Getting that spine straight, getting the head above the shoulders. And then hands to heart. Well done. Take a deep breath in. Clearing breath out. Bow the head to open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you.